I'm back in Visual Studio Code, and as you see, this was a log. This was a log after I started Jupyter Lab. Yeah, you can have a look at this in a similar manner. You remember when we looked at Jupyter Notebook? Okay, to stop the web server, I had to press Control C. Okay, so I'll simply clear the screen right now, and look, I am in this specific project Jupyter subfolder. Yeah. What I want to show you is that I have one, two, three different notebooks, and what I'll do next, I will install a library. Actually, it's a pip install. Okay, pip install, and it's called IPy widgets. Okay, these are the Jupyter widgets. Okay, let's install first this library, and we'll talk more about it. Okay, I already installed it before, as you can see here. What I can do is right now, okay, I will simply close this terminal, and let's take one by one these three different notebooks that I have here. This one is very simple, actually. You know what? You can run it, yeah, and select kernel, and yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll select the kernel, so we're in the virtual environment, remember? Okay, and we'll say run all. Okay, let's wait for this to install because I already installed Faker manually. Yeah, in the virtual environment, we have both Panda and Matplotlib installed here, so no. All the references should be here. As you can see, yeah, it's good. You remember in the previous section, we executed at some point a Streamlit application, and I added a slider like this one, sidebar slider. Okay, we'll do the same here, but we'll use a Jupyter slider instead. Okay, and the way you include the Jupyter widgets, yeah, the way you include the Jupyter widgets in your project is import IPy widgets as widgets, and you refer to these widgets this way. We'll have a look at these widgets because there are dozens of widgets. We'll have a look at the documentation, what they have next. But until then, look, this is an integer slide. Okay, it's very trivial. You can see you in a very similar manner to Streamlit. You provide a description, a current value, minimum, maximum, and a step. Okay, the way you display, you render this one is with display. Okay, this should come up, display bins, and then the value, yeah, you see here bins value, the value of this control will be passed to the histogram. So just like before, make sure that you have a virtual environment here, and let's say run all. Okay. And what's interesting, look, this is our slider. By default, we have 10 beans here. Let's go to the minimum beans, 3. But to do this, you'll have to refresh the next cell. You see, we have 3 beans here. Let's get to the maximum beans, yeah, 20. Okay, you see that you don't have to refresh this cell. Yeah, actually, it's not working if you refresh it because the value will be always 10. You just change it online here and you refresh the next cell. Okay, and you get 20 beans. Yeah, yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's not what we want because what we want is when we change the value of the slider here, we want for this chart to be refreshed automatically. So this is what we'll do next, yeah, and that's why I prepare the next iteration here. Very easy iteration because I try to keep everything very simple. Yeah. So I'll generate just like before, nothing changed here. I will generate 100 rows and yeah, let's run it one by one right now. Make sure you have the virtual environment there. Yeah, I will run them one by one because I want to remind you that I will generate 100 rows here, and the last column would be the age. Okay, the age, which is a random number between 10 and 80. Okay, you can see it here at the end, the age. So I will pick up these 100 numbers here, basically, and Yeah, I will create with this one a map, a histogram basically. I will group everything into bits. Yeah, this is a column age for the pandas data frame df. So you see how this change here, and that's a way they can link events basically to in the application. Yeah, that's one way to do it. That's their way to do it. Okay, just like before, I import IPy widgets here, but I combine everything all together. Why this? Let's see what changed. First of all, I get the output, the specific output of this widget, yeah, of this slider, okay, and I will display my beans at this output. Okay, it's just how can I say? It's just to isolate exactly the output because you may have different outputs, yeah, based on each widget that you display. And here you create a callback. Okay, uh, with beans observe, you basically link this callback, yeah, to what? When the value changes, when the property value will change, okay, this will trigger. So you see, initially I set the value to 0, and after I create this callback, I will change the value because I want this callback to trigger first, to trigger once. If I already initiate, let's say this one to 10, I will not get the first display, yeah, of my chart. And here we'll say with output, output clear output. So each time I will replace whatever chart I had before, and we'll say history beans value. Okay, so the control itself, the slider, has a value property, and that's the one that I will pass to the beans. Yeah, let's run it. Okay, because it's pretty trivial. Yeah, on purpose I did this because I don't want to come up with very complex things. Yeah, it's good for you to get a first taste of what it is, and yeah, to properly understand even more complicated things like this one. Okay, like the event handling. And look, guys, what I do, yeah, this will trigger each and every time I change this, but this will get replaced. Okay, yeah, beans 3, but you see, I don't have to refresh anything else. Beans 20, yeah, let's go, yeah, beans 19, beans 20. Okay, so I have 20 bars here. Okay, once again, I will go to beans 10. Okay, this will trigger also for intermediate changes. Unfortunately, if you want to refine this one, yeah, try to do it because yeah, definitely you can do it. And yeah, you see also that I have some. I have at least two other maps here below that showed up. Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Yeah, try to improve this one. Try to fix it. I will leave it up to you. But for me, the demo was. I think this demo is useful to get a glimpse of what is required to synchronize both of this. And just as a remark, you remember what we did? Yeah, what we did before. Yeah, with Streamlit was actually easier, but the model was different because we had a full page refresh every time. Every time a control triggered, on a different event. Right now, you don't have to execute everything. You see, you still have the 100 lines from the data frame here on screen, and this will not get refreshed. So what can I say is it's a compromise, yeah, for two different models. Yeah, they work in a different way. Yeah, it's good to understand also how each of these works. And yeah, let's continue. Look, you have online the full documentation for this Jupyter widgets. Yeah, as you may expect, yeah, there are plenty of widgets here. They have, you see, they have interactive demos and so on. So, yeah, if you want to go deeper inside to learn about all these widgets, be my guest. You see, they have a widget list here, and yeah, yeah, as you may expect, yeah, they may have dozens or yeah, even hundreds, dozens, let's say, of widgets, and at the end, what they provide also, you see, they have layout containers. Just like for Streamlit, these are actually just containers to encapsulate different kinds of other controls. Yeah, let's say input or output controls. Okay, you just include those controls here or the output into different cells here, and this will create a separate layout. You see slide layout, for instance, yeah, text layout, things like this. Tab control, yeah, the tab control also in Streamlit is a layout component. Okay, so makes the difference between at least three different controls here. You have input controls, output controls, the ones that will display information and so on, and you have these layout controls. Yeah. In Streamlit, I used to refer to as controls, as widgets, the ones that interact with the user. Yeah, so you provide basically input for other kind of processing inside, eventually for display controls. Okay, the layout controls in Streamlit, at least, even here, are rather static. Yeah, they are used just to group and to display, to render in a specific manner other controls on screen. Okay, you have also the widget events mechanism described here. Of course, that's a starting point, and that's my goal here. When everything gets way too complex, and I may spend hours and hours just on on a component like this, yeah, on Jupyter widgets, is not worth it, yeah, because everything is well documented, and my goal is to provide you, a starting point, to help you out, to show you where it is, to show it what it does, yeah, in the first place, what these components do. And if interested, yeah, try to find out more. And as I said before, yeah, there are alternatives today. Yeah, I don't dismiss at all these controls, these widgets. Yeah, they are great, but consider also alternatives. And it's not just Streamlit. Yeah, you have other kind of controls on Flask, on other similar applications.